So I've recently taken some trips.
Yeah.
Me and you have been talking about traveling. We've been talking about
Where'd
going.
you go?
I went to Mexico.
Viva la Mexico!
And when I was in Mexico, I went with some people who had never traveled before out of the country, and I was able to kind of like make some comments or kind of be a little bit encouraging in a way because you can't. I don't travel to be American.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I really
right. Yeah.
I don't right. Like
Yeah.
for me, I'm going to another country. Now I know where the embassy is.
Right.
And I got my passport, and I am an American citizen.
Right. If something go down, you know
I'm
out
of here.
Gotcha.
Don't get that twisted.
Gotcha.
I love to be. I love that I'm an American, but I'm not coming to your country.
Yeah.
To flaunt my American arrogance.
Right.
I saw recently a video of a guy talking real greasy on a mic about Paris.
Y'all save all y'all money, all y'all lives to come here. Let me be the one to break your bubble. First of all, Paris stink. It smelled like piss, cheese, and armpit. Child, eating the damn pigeons was crazy. Paris looked grimy as hell and dungeon, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So I was watching it and I thought about you're going over there with your American principles. When I go to different countries, I go to somewhere. Here's the saying: go somewhere to be nobody.
I've never heard that, but I like that.
I go somewhere to be nobody.
Yeah.
We were in Amsterdam. Me and my partner was sitting on sitting down, having like some coffee. It was like 3:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And there was police walking the streets.
Huh.
And as a black woman, I got a little nervous.
Of course. You clenched up.
I'm like, when I clutched my purse, like, hold up. We need to go in the hotel room. Like, what's the deal? They walking. So they were talking to some people and just having a good old jolly old time.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at her and I said, we don't even matter. No one is even paying us no attention.
Yeah.
We don't even speak the native tongue of most of these places we went to go visit recently. We don't understand the food, the culture.
Yeah.
You try tipping somebody, they get offended.
Right.
I'm a professional. I don't live off of tips.
Right. Isn't that something?
I charge you and I get paid. I mean, this is what they told me in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Like, to my face. Like, I'm like, can I tip you? No, I'm a professional. I get paid a living wage.
Mm.
I don't need extra. So, traveling while black has taught me that I'm free.
Yeah.
And that I don't need to be an American to embrace a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to figure out what these people are up to. I love people.
Yeah.
I just want to understand how they're living.
What they do, what's different, how do they wake up and go about their day, and I love all of that.
What do you feel about, do you know any people that haven't traveled before?
I do know. That's always astonished me. Like, you don't want to, you don't want to see something else. You don't want to see nobody. And a lot of them are in the South.
What do you think that's about, Tanisha?
I don't know. I don't understand it, to tell you the truth. If I just from observation, I mean, I don't know. I'm perplexed by it.
Why do you travel?
Because I like people. I like culture. Mm-hmm. I like learning. Mm-hmm. I like learning, like documentaries, podcasts, TED Talks. Yeah. I will Google a lecture just to watch a lecture.
Agreed.
Whether I know the shit or not. It can be on rocket science. I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
I can learn it better than I could a textbook, to tell you the truth. So, like, I love lectures. Someone sitting and talking about what they know. I love that. So, when I travel, I like to see new. I like to see different. I went to Cuba. I loved Cuba, and it was not polished, shiny, pretty. Someone even had the nerve to say to me, did you have a chance to really appreciate being an American and seeing how hard other people have it? I was like, are you serious? Like, those were some of the happy, well-rounded. Now, there were issues, obviously. We all have them. But the beauty of being in my Airbnb and seeing the ocean and the crumbled walkway and the yerba buena that's growing, that's like our mint, but it's growing wild in the field, and this girl just like pulled over her bike and she goes and she's picking stuff. I'm like, what are you picking? I want to pick some. And she's like, no, you don't know how to make it. You'll get sick. I was like, show me how to. So it's just, I just love that people do things differently, and I want to see how they do it.
Yeah. I think that traveling changed my life.
Okay.
It has changed my life, and I was one of those people that was scared to travel.
Were you?
Man, hell no, I ain't going over there. I don't have to get on that plane for no 24 hours and go over here and eat fake Doritos. Gotta get a visa.
Right.
What?
Why?
What the hell? You want to see Hispanics? Go to LA. Like, really? Like, this is like my, like, toxic thinking, man. Like, if I want to see Hispanics, I'm going to go to LA.
Really?
Why did you go to Mexico for? I mean, just crazy shit, right? So he came back with pictures.
Oh.
I said, you was in a hot spring. He was like, yeah, the water hot. I said, naturally? You got no shirt off of this? Hot spring? Where the rest of them niggas at? Oh, they was there too. Backsplashing, rolling, taking these exotic pictures, having this amazing cuisine.
Wow.
I said, well.
You were like, I'm in.
Wait, I said, no, I don't know.
Okay.
He went to another one.
Okay.
He used to call me. At like, Darnell don't get up early, but when he was younger, but he would call me, and I would think something's going on. He would call me like at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. He's like, I found a ticket. You found a ticket? Where you going? It's $800, but we going to Thailand. You going to Thailand? Like these things he would say, and I'm like, oh, hell nah. I heard they get sick over there. You going to Thailand? Boy, you better be careful to get on your shots. Doing all this, he come back with pictures. Oh my God, that's Thailand. Like, you know, like, and I got left too many times.
Gotcha.
Because everybody in my family was scared to travel to these countries because the news only tells you what's awful about the traveling.
Okay.
So I think it's to keep people out. I really do. Like, I think it's kind of like a Lake Lanier thing. I think it's to keep you away from it.
Gotcha. So
he called me again. He said, going to Brazil. I said, sign me up.
Okay.
I went and it changed my life.
Wow.
Now, I was scared as hell in Brazil. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. They got the AK-47 standing on the corner.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got no gas in their car. Nobody. Everybody gas is on E. We going up these hills.
Wow.
And it was just immaculate. I mean, it was probably one of the most beautiful things I ever seen. We were riding bikes and eating this food. Here's to a wonderful night in Brazil with amazing friends and more days to come in motherfucking Brazil. Salute is food, and they got the best churros I ever had in my life.
Really?
They making them fresh on the corner.
Yeah.
I would look for that woman outside the window every day like it was an ice cream truck. And it changed my life because I was like, these people are so poor. Yeah. They're so poor. Like, very, very poor. And they're in the most beautiful place I had ever seen.
Stuff that we pay millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
That is what I experienced in Roatan, Honduras.
How was that?
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those cruises, and it was a port that we stopped at, and the people I was traveling with were like Madi, I call her. She's like, we don't want to do the touristy thing. We wanted to find a driver. Exactly. We paid her cash to take us around where the locals go. Right. And so she took us to her house. Wow. We got to meet her grandma, her kids. Like, wow. There was, who's the chicken? The chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken was there. Oh, I shouldn't have mentioned the name, sorry.
No, you can.
Okay. They were there.
I don't eat KFC.
These folks, me either.
You only call Kentucky Fried now. They have to drop the chicken because they ain't got no real chicken no more. They KF.
Okay, so let me get back to
if you
put a pin in that.
Ain't no C on there.
These folks will pay a week's wages for one meal. I hate that about it. Like, I feel like if you're going to go over there and demand that much of them, you shouldn't be there. Period. But she took us around and showed us, like, where you could go to someone's back door and knock, and they had something cooked and ready, and you could give them a few dollars to get a plate. What? I was like,
I'm down.
I'm adventurous when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna try it.
Right.
So good. And then we turned around and took our plate and walked to the shore. Because she lives on the freaking beach, like right there, and all these beautiful rocks right there. Now she lives in a shack. Wow. But it's like, if that were, like, I'm from California, you know, so if that were Catalina Island, that shack would have been 12 million. Right.
I know, these double digits.
I was like, these folks are poor as what we call rich, but they are rich where we just ignore when it comes to the spirit and the things that they enjoy.
And I think that's why you have to travel.
Yeah.
It's because it changed my life, because I thought my problems were so big.
Yeah, right.
I thought my life was so complicated.
Yeah.
I'm not diminishing what I go through or how I feel, but when I travel, I said the world is so big. Like right now, people are sleeping. Somewhere it's nighttime. Where we are right now, somewhere it is cold while it is hot here.
Yeah,
like the world
it's
is
winter
so
somewhere
big.
else.
Yeah, it's so big. So traveling changed my life, and I think it also helps you to embrace and love yourself more. Yeah. Because you get to see who you are outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And it also helps to remind you that we're all connected. We're all connected.
We're all connected
to one another. We're all connected to this earth.
Amen.
We're all connected to God.
Amen.
All of us. Even those who are not professed, born again, or whatever else. All come from God. We all come from God. And
that's
I think it's so good for us to just sit down in a space outside of our luxury. Now, I love luxury. I'm not saying you gotta. I'm not one of those people that say leave it behind.
To America.
I'm coming back. I heard that. To Uber.
Yes,
to,
come on.
To first class.
Come on.
I'm gonna
a good old cheeseburger.
But,
I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
So I want to be back in America.
But
I'm an American.
Exactly. But I'm gonna enjoy what I'm there to enjoy.
That's right.
And bless those people. So it was so nice to pay her $100. There's 5 or 6 of us. We all put in over $100. She's weeping, and we didn't do it for that attention. But it's like, here, let us do this because you blessed us by just sharing.
You gave us something that money couldn't buy.
Yeah.
Access.
Right.
Access.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So don't travel out of fear. Travel to see the world. I'm also going to say this. I decided to start traveling when I started to follow God. And I said, if the Bible is true, and the word says that this is my God, and I have an inheritance.
Right.
And I've been ransomed, and he chose me. He gave us all permission, and we have power. Then why do I need to be stuck in one place?
Right.
If my Father created this, I want to go see everything he's done.
Exactly.
When I go to my mama's house, she can't tell me not to go in the refrigerator. I mean, what you talking about? I'm going to go in the refrigerator. I'm going to go look in her room. I'm probably going to steal a pair of socks. My mom always got really nice socks.
Oh, really?
She just keeps brand new socks in her
drawer.
I love
good socks.
So I go steal a pair of socks.
Yeah,
I probably get a bag of liquor. I mean, when I go over there, I just go shopping. Yeah. So I feel like if I can do that in my mom's house, why can't I do it in my Father's world?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
that's what I think God expects of us.
Yeah.
And tells us in order to be happy requires it. Like just don't be the timid.
No, come boldly.
I don't know if I deserve or I like to use this scenario. Imagine going home to mom and dad. Mom, whoever you grew up with, uncle, aunt, it doesn't matter.
Caregivers,
whoever.
Yeah.
And they say, I cooked some food. There's a pot of beans on the stove, some greens, some chicken in the oven, some cornbread, whatever else.
You do like to cook.
I love to cook.
Yeah, I heard you.
Someone say, I'm just going to sit here and hope they give me a plate. She said,
go get it.
Go get it. Mm-hmm. God said, go get it. What the hell are you waiting for?
What you waiting on? Go get it.
Go get it.
Go get it.
And it's okay if you don't know what you want at first. Go get something. That's not the thing. Use that to calibrate to what you really want.
You don't know what you want until you try.
That's it. And that's a beautiful thing about seeing other cultures, other people, talking to other people of other cultures and backgrounds and races. You get to really fine tune what it is that you value within your own life.
Amen.
That's really what it's about.
Get to traveling.
Please. And it's so fun. Earth is so pretty.
Oh, God.
Earth is so... You know where I want to go?
Where?
You're going to laugh at me. It's okay. I want to see New Zealand because I'm a Lord of the Ring fan. Like, I'm a
Why would I laugh at you for that? New Zealand is good.
I'm a major Lord of the Ring fan. I'm hoping there's a little bit of Hobbit blood in my family. I want to find a big circle door and a doorknob. I love when I saw Lord of the Rings. I said, "Where was this filmed?" And when they said New Zealand, I'm sold. I want to see it.
You taught me. I didn't know Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand.
Yes, ma'am. I want to see it.
That's that. I mean, I like old, ancient looking towns.
Yes.
Look like they got blew up and they still stand.
Yeah, like rubble and shit.
Yeah, like I like all that.
Like bricks knocked out. I want to visit a castle.
Yes.
I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to...
My brother went to Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, he brought me back some. I know. It's just going like this year. We are going to Africa and London for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Where in Africa?
Cape Town.
Beautiful.
In Johannesburg.
Okay.
I'm going to go through there. I've never been to Africa.
Neither have I.
And I didn't think I was welcome.
Really?
Yeah, because, I met some Africans in college, and I wore a perm. And they used to talk to me crazy. So I was like, hell with them. Always talking about my perm. I ain't black enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go over there, but then you get older.
Yeah. Well,
and you realize that's...
They wearing weaves now and stuff.
Let me tell you. Do you saw that new... It's that Netflix... Rich African or something like that.
I can't even... Listen, I don't like reality TV.
Yeah.
I watched one episode. I was like, let me turn this shit off.
Is
I'm disappointed. I thought y'all was going to be reeling it
Go see it for yourself, man. Go travel. Go see it for yourself. Make your own conclusions of that.
Absolutely.
You cannot give what you don't have.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
How does that work?
You can't give it. So I feel like my life's journey has been in a couple of sections.
Yeah.
And some things that I really enjoy doing, but I don't like doing it because it's laborious.
Yes.
But when I do it, I feel 10 times better. And as a life coach...
Take note.
As a life coach, right? Yeah. Like, I have clients that I'm encouraging to do certain things. And I realize there's like a drop-off point. And if they would just do that one thing, or those two things, they will see a shift.
Yes.
But I, too, struggle with what I'm recommending. But I know it works.
Right.
Because I do it when I do it.
Yeah.
I feel so much better. So it's something that I want to add to my practice. And it's also something that I want to give to the world because I feel like I have books in my belly. And I feel pregnant. Yeah. Like super pregnant. Like I feel labor pains.
Yes.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm at everything where a woman talks about like I'm ready to get this baby out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of what it's gonna look like. It's kind of like I got pregnant on accident and I don't know who the daddy is. No, this is like how deep it giving me, sis. Like, I am pregnant. Okay. But I don't know if this baby will come out white. I don't know if this baby will come out blue eyes. I don't know. Right. But the baby is mine.
It's yours.
It's my baby.
No mistaking that.
That is my child.
But what else?
Out of pappy. Like, out of baby's pappy. Like, so I am so pregnant and I need to, and me and you talked about this. So, Did you write your chapter?
I did not. I scratched out some notes, and I've learned to use the iPhone really well this year. So I told Siri to take some notes, and I made like a voice recording of the chapter.
I heard that's how you gotta do it.
And so here's what I struggle with. It's almost like the commitment of sitting down and putting it on paper.
Why is that so hard?
Because there's that little bit, for me, I think, is that little bit of the perfectionism thing.
That is it.
Because I grew up with a critic. And I can be so critical sometimes. I can be very gracious.
So true.
But when I'm just not careful and intentional, I can be very critical. And so sometimes, if I'm not intentional about shutting that voice up, and as I try to do things, that little voice starts to run rampant. And is it good enough? Did you say that right? Did you get that? Like, I used to get so stuck on that kind of stuff. And it's like, I actually wrote that in a journal. It's hard to giving birth is hard. I've never given physical birth.
Me either.
But I've avoided it at all costs.
Right.
Because I know I don't want to carry around something within me for 9 months, and it's like when I think about this book, I've been carrying this book for about 12 years.
Come on.
And it's like, it's the same thing. It's getting heavy. It's dropped to the bottom. It wants to, and I'm just afraid.
Mine is crowning.
And I'm afraid to push. Why am I afraid to push? Because it's going to hurt.
Can I tell you why I'm afraid to push? I'm vulnerable. I'm a very private person, even on this podcast.
Yeah.
As charismatic as I may seem to others and have been complimented for.
Yes.
I'd rather be in the back somewhere.
Huh.
I don't want to do a podcast. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to come clean.
And you're so good at it.
I don't want to do it.
This is so natural.
And I'm scared. You hear
Really?
me? Like when I say like doing this podcast, it's kind of like this is what God told me to do the podcast.
Okay.
Like you said, you heard that still soft voice?
Yeah.
God told me do the podcast. It's for the introverts.
Ooh. Nice.
This is not for me.
Yeah.
I don't want guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
Or all these crazy ass conversations people having just to get a snapshot.
Right.
This is like how I operate all the time. If there's no substance in a conversation, I ain't having one.
Yeah, your tribe will find you.
Yeah, I don't want to mince my words or
Gotcha.
even waste conversation.
Yeah.
So I got to put this podcast together or I feel sick.
Wow.
I feel physically ill when I neglect to steward the weeping room and the brook.
That is something else.
I can't sleep. And the book is starting to be added as the trio, like a motherfucking Long Island iced tea. It's like mixing in with that because it's not for me.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
Your inventory is calling this work from you. Those souls placed in your inventory has placed a demand. Remember the story of the woman with the issue of blood?
Come on.
And when Jesus said, "Who touched my garment?"
Yeah,
I felt virtue. It's the same thing. When we do the thing that we're supposed to do, I was on stage last weekend for the show we did.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It went very well. But there was a moment where all the rehearsals we did, no one, the young lady, Dondria and Nicole, that starts singing her portion of the song, she almost can't sing it. She's so emotional. That had never happened. Wow. She's so emotional. She's working through the song, and then we're all emotional and stuff. And it's like, well, what happened? And I had said, because someone reached out and needed that. Ooh, they drew the virtue from us. That's the same thing. There's people that need you to do this, and they're calling it from you.
And you know what? I believe that I am born at this time, in this moment, because I have something to give.
Absolutely.
And I want to give birth to things that will live beyond me. I'm in my legacy years, Queen.
Yeah.
I'm in my legacy years. Like, none of this has anything to do with me getting pleasure out of it.
Right.
The satisfaction I get is seeing other people win. I never want to be the reason. I want to be a part of the win.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? Like, I want people to win because they want to win. I just want to be a part of the journey in a sense of like, you got this.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Right.
But I don't take my own advice. Because to take my own advice is to be very vulnerable with myself. Yeah. Writing a book is therapeutic. But it's also telling on myself.
If you're going to do it the right way, it is.
I'm telling.
That's what I want to do. I want to make sure I put the hard shit in there, the ugly shit, the disturbing, embarrassing, all of that. And it's like, I actually said, I was waiting on 2 family members to leave this earth before. Yeah. Because I'm going to put some stuff, I'm going to say some stuff. They're going to be like, Mother Edgerton did that? Yeah. I'm like, yes. This, yes. And we learn from this stuff, though. But now it's not out of a spirit of, I want to get revenge or, you know what I mean? Different. Or attention. It's different. Like, this is what I had to deal with. This is what I healed from. And if I truly believe, and I do, that everyone that has passed on understands now even their mistakes somehow came together to work for me to learn a lesson, I know they're okay with me telling the story now.
I love that. I believe two things. Mm-hmm. One is that lessons are given. My pastor taught me this. Pastor Pierre, Apostle Pierre. Mm-hmm. And he's, Trelina, let me tell you, I said, I'm going through it. I remember I was in a valley. I was not in the mountain, I was in the valley. He says some people go through things and learn lessons as a teacher. Some learn it as a student. Mm. He said the lessons of a teacher are hard. Do you know why? I said, absolutely not. His response is, because you got to teach it.
Because you got to teach it. So you got to understand it to a different depth.
It gotta hit you in a whole nother kind of way. And he said, you know, he would tell me things, and I said, why when I come to you with these things, you ignore me? He used to stop talking. You know, when your pastor stopped talking.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Right.
And he said, because I'm not about to do this with you. He said, if you won't accept who you are, the devil knows who you are. Mm. You have to know who you are because your enemy does. So if you're running from you running from life.
Yeah.
So I feel like this book is a culmination for me and you to become free. Yeah. We talk about freedom, but it's emotional freedom. Yeah. It's not enough to be emotionally intelligent anymore for me. Mm-hmm. I want to be emotionally healthy.
Right.
I want to be healthy, not just aware.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got all this information that I learned as a teacher that I refuse to give to my students.
Mm. See, now that puts a whole different urgency on it. I've got this, and I'm withholding. Because if you are intentionally not doing what you were told to do, you are intentionally withholding.
You are. And Miles Monroe said this, Queen, you know, rest in peace. He taught me so much. He said, I wish I could have saw him live. Mm. I wish I could have just been around him real quick. Yeah. But he said, he talked about like books and education and like reading, and he mentioned about the richest place on earth is the gravesite.
Oh, I've heard that.
The wisest place on earth is the gravesite. And then he said, because people took their wisdom with them.
Took it to the grave.
And what a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. What a shame I don't want to die with this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I really don't. So my baby is crowning.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to make a pact with you. Broadcasting it to whoever watched this thing.
This is accountability.
I want to take a personal challenge.
Yes. Okay.
That before this year is over. Yeah. We won't say the month because we're going to air this when we air it.
Okay.
But before 2023 is over.
Right.
We have our first draft.
Of the entire book.
The entire book.
First draft.
Now, it's just a draft.
I accept the challenge.
It's a draft.
I accept it because we can do it.
We can do it because it's not for us. It is selfish of us.
Absolutely.
It is unloving of us to have wisdom.
You're right. And not
to have knowledge and not give it to people who are looking for us.
Yeah. People
are looking for us. My prayer every day is, God, let me find let the people who are looking for me find me.
Yes. Right.
I'm here.
And in this world, what better way than a podcast and written words that can go out as far as they need to go. Mm-hmm. And we leave the rest up to angels, to God, to the universe, however we want to say it, to bring the right people to that book or that written piece of work that they can get healing and enlightenment, advancement, whatever they need. Freedom.
Right.
Freedom.